Hello, 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 hello. Let's see. Let's get everything right. Hello, everybody. Hey. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Just getting everything ready, getting everything together. Okay. Just making sure my audio is good. Can you all hear me? What I'm sounding like? What am I sounding like? Here. Let me put this here. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Say that, and I'm gonna show that. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, Justin Williams, welcome, Justin, welcome. Okay, Siova, what's good? Welcome back. Thanks, Justin. Thanks, Siova. Keep putting those ones in the chat. I want to see who's all in here. You all can hear me. Okay, Patrice, Jean Baptiste, welcome. Okay. What's good? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live stream. Okay. I'm thinking people are hearing me. So I think my audio is coming across good. That's great. How are you all doing? How's everybody doing? Here, let me put that there. Let's see. How's everybody doing? Hit the comments, hit the box. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Aiken, welcome. I'll be going through the chat. Now, last time I went live, I had an issue where I did not have this room. Locked down. So there were a lot of people who were coming in here during the time of the stream. No worry, right? I've rented the room. Nobody can come. People might still come in here just because they're just being them. But okay, Aiken, you said you hear me loud and clear. Perfect. But we can rock as long as you all want to rock, right? So there is nothing holding us back from having our chat. Okay, you all can hear me. Good. Okay, perfect. So how's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Welcome to the stream. This one, as you all are putting stuff in the chat about how your week, how your day has been going. This stream is about humble beginnings, right? So we're going to be talking about several things as it concerns some beginnings that I've had within the field, within cybersecurity, kind of where I started, and kind of almost to where I'm at now, right? So be sharing information. This will be something very close to my heart, something very aligned with my own personal experience. So I'm giving you all a piece of myself here as it concerns my career progression over time and what that might look like for you. I'll also be dropping the link so that people who might be interested in the content, they can come up, right? They can come up and tell about their own humble beginnings and even how they got to the point in which they're at now. So, I really want to make this something to where people are able to share, where one, I'll be sharing more about where I come from, how I started in cybersecurity, and then kind of go step by step and get some information from you all. And we'll be looking at some videos and some different things. So, yeah. Okay. Everybody doing good. I'm assuming. And also, as we're going throughout the stream, if you all have any questions, feel free to throw them right down there in the chat. They might be a little delayed based upon just StreamYards, how StreamYards is. But if you all have any questions, any concerns, anything that you might want me to answer, right, I want you all to throw it in the chat, and we'll spend some time to try to answer it. Now, I know for the last live stream, it got kind of crazy because I can't answer a million questions and also go over the content that I have prepared. But we'll see. We'll just gauge it. And a lot of times, as you've probably seen from my channel, I upload a lot of pre-recorded material. So I think having the pre-recorded material is great, but these live streams give me a chance in order to talk to you all, in order to, in some way, connect more with the audience who's been rocking with my content over all this time. Welcome, Savage Scientist. You came up on the panel for the last one. Savage Scientist, welcome. Hello. And this is just an opportunity for us to connect more. So if you have any questions, concerns, discussion topics, anything that you want to hear or see more content on, feel free to let me know. Okay, so humble beginnings. I might as well just start off, jump in there. So a lot of times, Many, and I've seen this, many cybersecurity professionals or tech professionals in general, they a lot of times you come in contact with them where they currently at, right? Where they currently are within their career. And a lot of times you don't understand what it meant for them to get to that point, that step-by-step process, or where they started off, or how they got their introduction to the field. And I think that for me, that was a struggle of mine, struggle security, right? That was a struggle of mine because I'm thinking that people are coming out the womb with these programming skills. I come from a primarily African-American upbringing here in Detroit, Michigan, and we didn't know anything about tech careers or cybersecurity. I don't even think my job existed when I was a kid. So I really did not have a strong connection to the career field in which I'm in now. So people being so far in their career, combined with my lack of connection to the field of cybersecurity, I got kind of more of like a fuzziness as it concerns what that looked like as I was going through my progression within cybersecurity. So I kind of want to go over a couple of things and really just start with talking about Kamar Brown. Welcome. Just want to kind of start off with talking about where I started. So I actually started here. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. Let me see. I can probably pull up a picture for you all, but you're able to see where I start or how I got into cybersecurity. See if there's a Google image here for the plant. So let me get a good one that's pretty high definition. And let me open that up in a new tab for you all's viewing pleasure. And hopefully I can I'll enlarge this so that y'all can see. Okay, that's not gonna allow me to share it. So I might just keep it smaller. Okay, let me share this with you all. Share screen. Okay, I had that capability. Let me see, Chrome tabs. No. Listen, I'm still getting used to this, right? I got a lot of tabs open. And this one starts with an F for Fermi. F-E-R. Oh man, next time that I do this, I would not have this many tabs open. Let's see what I can find. I know it's here. Here it is. But not that. Let's see. Okay, this is what I want to share. Let me know if you all are seeing that. Let me know if you all. Okay, you definitely are seeing that. Let me zoom in a little bit for your viewing pleasure. So this is what you call a nuclear plant. This is actually a nuclear plant. So here, not too far where I live here in Detroit, Michigan, I actually I used to work at this nuclear plant. This is called the Fermi 2 nuclear plant. It is what you call a BWR, or boiling water reactor nuclear plant. It is a plant that has a GE reactor. And the reactor is the core of the nuclear plant, where it's really where all the magic is happening, where all the atoms are being split, where all the stuff is happening, where in a boiling water reactor, water is boiled, literally boiled, and turned into high pressure steam. That steam works to turn a turbine. That turbine creates electricity from it turning at a certain speed, a certain rate, and that electricity goes to our homes, right? So I used to work at this nuclear plant, and really early on, what happened is that I actually transitioned into the nuclear plant environment because I used to work for an automotive supplier for Ford Motor Company, really. And I was noticing I did not have a lot of training. Nobody was preparing me for the next role. So I transitioned right over there. So I was working at a nuclear plant as a nuclear engineer, right? A nuclear engineer was working in this plant environment. Hey, let me say a couple of hellos. Let's troll. What's good? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. And you can hit the like. Yes, that's it. Hit the like button. That's perfect. That's perfect. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Here, and actually, let's see. Can I make people moderators yet? Yeah, I'll make you a moderator. I see you in there. But yeah, hit the like button. That helps with the algorithm for more people to get an understanding of what this content is. And of course, my buddy, my guy, Textual Chatter, he also has a YouTube channel where he covers cybersecurity topics. Yeah. So actually check him out as well. So welcome. And Savage Scientist says this looks like the 3 Mile Island. Similar, right? I think Three Mile Island I think that's out of New York, I believe. But it's actually, I think it is a boiling water reactor too. So this is, this is a boiling water reactor. And these are cooling towers. So one thing that's generated heavily within a nuclear plant environment is heat. Heat. So these cooling towers allows for the thermodynamic process of heat transfer. So it goes from one form to another form, goes from that liquid, it pulls the coolness out of the liquid, and it works to cool the reactor core, or all of the parts of the plant, actually. So anyway, that is where I worked. And another OG, salute to the chat, and struggle. Okay, that's a nice little reference. Okay, but welcome, Professor Blackops. Welcome. He also has a YouTube channel, but I'll go ahead and remove that for now. But yeah, that was where I started, right? That's how I got my initial introduction into cybersecurity. Because what was happening around that time is that there was a malware, or a type of virus in the Middle East that hit an Iranian nuclear facility. And what happened from there is that it hit that facility and caused shockwaves across nuclear all across the world, including my lowly little nuclear plant, my boiling water reactor. It's a multi-unit, but the first unit, Fermi 2 or Fermi 1, was not in service. So it hit my plant. And then as a result, I got all that cybersecurity type of projects. And this is what it looked like. So I don't only want to talk about what it looked like from an experience perspective, but listen, I want to show my work. So and this was back around 2012, 2013 or so. And here, let me share my screen of am I sharing? Oh, okay, I'm unsharing that one. I'm going to share my screen of what that actually looked like from a compensation perspective. And let's see. Again, like I said, I am getting used to this, and hopefully I'm doing it right. Okay. I know what I want to share. I want to share screen. I want to share a window, and boom, right? This is what I want to share. Let me know if you all are seeing that. So this is what it was like, right? This is back in 2013. And as you see, I want to point out a couple of different things here. It says, this is actually my offer letter for this nuclear cybersecurity engineering role. And as you see here, I just highlighted a couple of pieces that was a part of the offer letter. You see, this letter is to confirm your offer for full-time employment at that place, right? We are impressed with your qualifications. Therefore, we are offering you a position as an engineer, nuclear engineering, which was my primary role. And specifically, I was assigned to the cybersecurity group. And I had a great salary, right? Especially for 2013 of a 70K base salary. So that was my salary. And that was, again, like I mentioned, like around 2013 or so. I think I started a little bit later, but it was back there in 2013. So also I had 10 days, right? Or 80 hours of vacation. So 10 days, you think of it, what's that? 2 weeks. So I had 2 weeks of vacation. Not a lot of time to not be in the office, but I had 2 weeks of vacation. I had a 401k plan. I just highlighted a couple of highlights there. And let's see, I had an employer contribution or a health expense account, which I'm able to contribute $4,000 per year. I believe that's some pre-tax money, but that was also a part of my compensation. But yeah, man, I'm started off, hey, humble beginnings. And I'm not saying that's humble for everybody. Everybody has different situations, but really started off there at that 70K salary, which was dope, right? I'm living at home with the family. I'm living at home with sister and brother and my mom and everything. So, this is a really good salary. I didn't have to be by myself. So I was able to stack a bit, right, during this time as I was doing this, and learn a whole bunch. I want to say hello to several other people that are just joining. I want to say what's up to Savage Scientist. I already said hello to you, but you said, I know SCADA security been a big topic in nuclear plants. Absolutely, right? In an enterprise environment, there are many different things which Kev Tech would know about. He said he came here for the free pizza. What's good? And salute to the chat. Welcome, Kev Tech. NC Worker, welcome. Thank you for coming through. Lou, thank you for coming through. Absolutely. But kind of mentioning SCADA, right? It's so interesting because this has become more and more of an emphasis over time. Really because the threats to SCADA, which stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition Systems, right? What does that mean, right? It means a lot of things. It can mean a lot of things, but I think a very good comparison here is that of when you think about an enterprise environment, like an enterprise network, you have things like laptops, you have things like workstations, you have things like servers and IoT devices and HVAC systems and all those type of things, all talking on the network. Within a SCADA environment, things look a little bit different, right? Things look a little bit different where you have different assets. You have servers, you have workstations, you have laptops, but you also have things like PLCs, which stand for programmable logic controllers. These are devices that cause a physical impact to the world based upon a digital input. So PLCs are used to open doors, close valves, increase a pressure sensor, things like that. So it more has a physical reaction to the world. Things like HMIs, human machine interfaces. These can be thought of as devices that give indication of the health of different systems. So you might have a human machine interface that tells you the pressure, the temperature, and the height of a different fluid within a large condenser or a large tank or something, right? So those are some of those things that are a little bit different between enterprise environments and SCADA or DCS or distributed control system or overall operational technology environments. But yeah, to catch people up, because I'm seeing there's more people coming through. Fridge, welcome to the chat. Taylor, welcome to the chat. Thank you for coming through. Citizen Lou, what's good? I think I said what up already. Kamar Brown says salute to the chat. So welcome everybody. And just to kind of update you on kind of what we're talking about here, we're talking about humble beginnings, because a lot of times people start by telling you where they are, but you don't really understand where they came from, or don't really understand that progression that happens within your field or within your career. So I'm trying to start from the beginning where I got my initial introduction. I explained kind of what that role was as a nuclear engineer working in the cybersecurity department, but wanted to present my offer letter. This was my initial offer letter all the way back in 2013, and just what that kind of looked like. Had a $70K base salary. This offer was sent out 2013. I think I started on this date or maybe a little later. But yeah, so this was the initial. This was the beginning, right? So let me go ahead and stop sharing that, because I can tell you that it wasn't easy, right? So that salary, that role came with a lot of stuff, right? So I was very junior. I was very new in that environment. So me with the engineering stuff was cool, right? So I was learning a lot of engineering concepts. So they pretty much, when you start off as a nuclear engineer within a plant, they kind of start you off kind of entry level or so to some degree. So they put you through like a training type of course. So I was in a training course to pretty much change me into a nuclear engineer for that plant. So I needed to learn the environmental aspects of nuclear engineering. I needed to learn the electrical, which I had a good grasp on just coming out of college not too long ago. I had to learn the civil engineering, a lot of safety concerns, and just overall what that looked like to work in a plant environment. And I want to show you a little bit of what that looks like. And I'm going to show you a little bit of me in a second. So let me see if I can find that. Actually, I need to close tabs as I'm finished with this. Let me see what this starts with. The boiling. Let me see. This is what I want to show you. Okay. You all can probably see this. This is from the NRC website, which stands for Nuclear Regulatory Commission. This is the government entity that regulates the commercial nuclear all around the United States. And as you all can see here, let me zoom in or center that a little bit more. Okay. I was kind of explaining to you what this process looks like. So this is the reactor core there that you can see where it says reactor vessel. You can see those control rods and whatnot. So those control rods is what is able to control the reactivity within the reactor vessel. So you can start or you can stop or you can slow down the process of fission, right, which is the splitting of atoms or splitting of the elements in order to create nuclear energy. So those control rods are in there. And as you see, there's water always cycling through this vessel. And that turns, like I mentioned, that steam comes up. So this is the steam coming out of the top, and it turns this turbine, and that goes to a generator, And that generator creates electricity, and that electricity goes to homes. And as you see here, it's kind of like a cyclical type of thing happening here, because this condenser takes that steam and changes it back into water, which goes back into the reactor core in order for it to boil. I bring this up not to go into the specifics of Cybersecurity or the specifics of boiling water reactors, but I would say that it is hot. When you have to go into containment, which is the inner workings of a nuclear plant, it is extremely hot environment. I mean, and you have to wear all this type of PPE, personal protective equipment, whether it's hard hats, steel-toe boots. You had to dress out. You have to wear certain things. I mean, it was not a comfortable place. It can almost be considered like a blue-collar type of working environment, especially when there were things called like outages. So at every commercial nuclear plant, there's an outage where you have to, well, what happens is that they turn off certain systems for things to be replaced, for things to be upgraded, or things to just be maintenance overall. So when that happens, they send us, the nuclear engineers, into the plant in order to make sure that all these systems are working well. We have to do walk downs of all of these different systems. And like I mentioned, it's hot, long hours. And let me show you a little bit more about what that was like, because let's see if I can find that picture. I have a picture of young Gabe, right? Young Gabe, as Gabe was working in this environment. Let me see if I can show you all something. Actually, let me say some hellos before I keep going. Oh, what's good? What's good? Welcome, Keep It Techie. Listen, welcome. You always come through. Thank you so much for coming through. Salute to everybody. Peace to the chat. He says the salutations, everybody. Savage Scientist says, I know it takes a lot to get to that point. Yeah, it did at the time. Kev Tech, dope. Welcome. The Beard IT Dad, welcome. I've seen stuff on your chat. I seen your channel. He also has a great channel about cybers. He goes into cybersecurity, but I think he talks about IT as a whole, but he hits on some cybersecurity topics. So check his channel out too. Let's see who's new. I know everybody's saying hello to one another. Just finished jogging. Kev Tech on his health tip. He says, man, you're lucky to be near that type of technology. It's a big push for yes, there's a big push for fusion plants, but it's still about 20 years from now. True. There's like these small modular reactors, which don't require as much energy. And also, I don't think that you are exposed to as much nuclear like radiation or reactive materials. It's something along those lines. So INL industry, let's see. INL, what does that stand for? Industry for Nuclear Lab. I forget the name of it, but it's like a nuclear lab that they do a lot of research in that area for different type of reactors, different ways of generating energy. So yeah, man, I was lucky, but listen, it was just my local utility organization that had that opportunity. And there's a lot of nuclear plants all around the United States. Now, the industry isn't as booming as it used to be, but people like in New Orleans, there's several different nuclear plants down in New Orleans. I think the utility organization is like Excel Energy, I believe, or Exelon, one of those. In the East Coast, kind of southeast, like North Carolina, they have different plants. Duke Energy owns a lot of nuclear plants. In the West Coast, that's when it starts to get a little bit sparse, right? They're shutting them down very, very much so. Yeah, 7 years if we get lucky. Yeah, I got you. Okay, let me show you what it was like back then. Let's see. I'm going to share what it was like in the trenches. Okay, this is me. Listen, this is me, okay? I'm a little bit out of, I'm in there, right? So I'm all the way there to the left, right? And this was actually a plant tour. For those who remember Fukushima. So the Fukushima nuclear disaster happened. I think that was around 2014, 2013 or so, when there was what is the tsunami? There was a hurricane followed by a tsunami. And for those who know about nuclear plants, this is nuclear plants are always by a large body of water. And this large body of water is a principle for commercial nuclear. It's called the ultimate heat sink. So like I was mentioning, water needs to circulate throughout the plant continually. So you need a large body of water, natural large body of water for that water source. So Fukushima was by a large body of water. And that's where that tsunami and that hurricane came from. But yeah, this is me. Let me zoom in a little bit. This was the team that I was a part of. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit here. Let's see. Yeah, so this is the team, and this is me. This is a boy. Okay, I was in there, right? So we had some visitors. These are people on my team and everything. And what we're in here is like the backup. It's just called like the backup reactor room, right? So when you look at this, it looks like something that's from like the 1970s. And that's a lot of times where a lot of these nuclear plant designs stop. Like they stop all the I guess newness of color. They don't really redesign these systems very often or these rooms very often. So I was in the trenches. So I'm smiling, right? But at the same time, I'm stressed. Okay. I am very stressed because I probably have a walk down of a system later that day. I had probably about an hour and a half of a commute based upon traffic from home to the workplace. So I'm driving maybe 2.5 hours a day. My vehicle wasn't doing great. I had to learn so much information and take exams and tests while I was there. It was a struggle. Listen, that $70K salary was a it didn't come without stress, and it did not come without struggle. But hey, this is me, right? These are right? The theme of the chat or the theme of the stream is humble beginnings, right? So I was at the bottom. So a lot of times they gave me all of the hardest and all of the things that people didn't want to do. So let me say what's up to a couple of other people. John, welcome. John said the photos look straight out of war games. Yeah, that's what it felt like. I feel like I was back in time when I was working at the plant. I was there for years, and I felt like I was back in time. Okay. 7 scientists in Homer Simpson's room. Absolutely. That's the thing. People, that was like the running joke. All my family, all my friends would say, okay, I guess you Homer Simpson. Not exactly. Not exactly. Homer Simpson is characterized as being a reactor engineer, or actually he's a reactor operator, but he's fraudulent, right? So he has donuts and coffee all in that room. As you see here, this is the backup room, but it's a replica. It's a direct replica of what the actual reactor room looks like. And it's very regimented. It's like you cannot even step foot onto one of these areas within the reactor room without authorization. They have guards, they have everything. So not exactly Homer Simpson, because they don't play like that. They do not play like that. But yeah, humble beginnings, right? Humble beginnings. If you guys got any questions, throw them in the chat. But let me go ahead and kill this. Remove stuff. Okay, so I'm working at the plant environment, and it's cool. Like, I understand. Oh, let me show you a little bit more too about what this looks like within a plant. I want to show you guys this. Let's see. Let's get to this of what some of the wear or the dress looks like what we had to wear when we went into the plant environment. And like I mentioned before, what was the main thing I said? It's hot. It's extremely hot. Let me share this. Let's see. Okay. This is what I want to share with you all. Hopefully I can maximize that. Hopefully you all are seeing this. I'm just going to have the sound off, but this is similar to what we would wear. So this right here, they're showing, this is what you call, so this is the core of the reactor, right? And this is what you call the spent fuel pool. So this is where fuel will be stored before it's loaded into the reactor core, or whether it's being taken out. So this is a place where there's high reactivity, very high reactivity. So this is the core of the reactor. And I'm just going to fast forward a little bit through this. It kind of zooms in, and these are the control rods here. This is what controls the reactivity. These are the control rods, and they're kind of zooming in here. Look at these guys, right? This is what we had to wear when we went into certain parts of the nuclear plant. This is called dressing out. So you had to wear this white thing, right? And you had to make sure that you were in areas which kept you the least exposed to radioactive material and just overall radiation. And we had something on us. It was called our dosimetry. And what it did is that it kept track of how much exposure that we had. I mean, it's just it was a stressful thing. I'm getting PTSD thinking about it, because you had to pay attention to what your dosimetry was, because you needed to understand how much you were being exposed to radiation. I mean, and this is in the 2013 to 2014, 15 time period, right? Gloves and all. So these are probably reactor engineers here, right? You have to wear this stuff, right? They're messing with this. These are some of these SCADA systems, right? These are some of these SCADA systems where they are monitoring what's happening with the fuel in the core, right? So these are the different positions. They're probably moving something. Yeah. Oh well, actually, they're putting the control rods in, and they're monitoring the reactivity to make sure that things don't go crazy. Okay, so that looks like they're having conversations. They look comfortable, but I'm telling you, in a boiling water reactor, because there's different types of reactors. It's like a pressurized water reactor, but a boiling water reactor is hot. I don't know. I don't understand this. I don't understand how he just linked up. I don't know, but I just knew that we never leaned over the spit fuel pool because that's where there was reactivity. But this might be something different. They might have some level of control over the reactivity. I'm not sure, but that was kind of happening there. That was happening. Yeah, so that was part of the experience. That was part of the experience there. Okay, I'm seeing some other questions. Okay, let's see. Homer Simpson room, watching a stream gang photo. Yeah. Okay. Kamara has a question. It says, are you able to share which certificate or skill provided the most value for your cybersecurity career? Absolutely. So that's one thing that I want to get into next, right? So beginnings, right? But I'm definitely going to start this, so I'm able to get to this one later. Let's see. KF said, good question. Trent, what's good? Trent, welcome to the chat. It says, does anyone have resources and advice for assist admin performing vulnerability assessments? Okay, we can talk about that. Here, I'll go ahead and start that one. We got some conversation about it. Tay with it. Welcome, Tay. New to the channel. How did you get into cybersecurity? Did you go to college route or certs? I can answer that quickly. So I did not. So I actually started off as an electrical engineer. So my undergrad, my bachelor's is in electrical engineering. And then eventually, like I was mentioning before, I transitioned into a nuclear plant working in cybersecurity. So I can show you all that really quickly because I'm sharing like what did it look like from an offer letter perspective. Let me show you that. Oh, okay. Let me share. And I showed this earlier in the chat or earlier in the stream. This is the one from 2013. And when I started off, I was working like I said, like as a nuclear engineer in the cybersecurity department, bringing in 70K, 401K, two weeks and everything, right? So I did not start off with certs. I did have college as a nuclear engineer, but then they threw me into cybersecurity over time because that was a need for my plant. So I would say I almost mistakenly jumped into cybersecurity because I was in an engineering role, but then they expanded it to cybersecurity because really I was supposed to come in as just a nuclear engineer, and then they switched it up. They're like, oh, we need you in cybersecurity. So that's a little bit of the background how I got into it. So that was an easy question to answer. Let me stop sharing that. Okay. No, those are not bunny suits. Those were not, listen, they were hot. Okay. They were hot and they were uncomfortable, especially say for instance, like you have like kind of what I'm wearing like right now, like this type of shirt. They actually, you had to wear like long sleeves really, because again, it lessens your exposure to radioactivity and radioactive stuff. You said, how did I get that job? I applied. I just applied, right? So I know I had like the engineering background that aligned, but then eventually they threw me into the cybersecurity stuff. They expanded it even before I started. So really, actually the first year and a half, I was just doing nuclear engineering because they wanted me to have that foundation before they threw me into cybersecurity thing. So yeah, man. No, Professor Black Ops, there are no STIGs. You could do, okay, STIGs on vulnerability assessments. Yeah, sure. STIGs are security technical implementation guides for government. Yeah, I know it is. It is crazy, right? I think I kind of got lucky. Like I kind of just jumped into it because overall, I would probably still be there I would probably still be there at that plant today. So yeah, man. Okay. Let me see where I was at. Okay. So speaking of transitions, right? So I was there, but then I recognized that this wasn't what I wanted to do long term. So my manager, who was also in that picture, he was going to be retiring pretty soon. He was well into his 60s, and he really wanted me to take over the program as the program manager because we had several contractors and other junior resources on our team. So he wanted me to take it over as the program manager. I'm like, I don't want to be a program manager yet. I want to get my hands dirty, right? I want to get in there. And I had gotten like one cybersecurity cert through like SANS, one of the SANS Institute certifications. But so I wanted to take that show on the road, right? So I did not want to be like, I guess, quote unquote, stuck in one role, but I wanted to really branch out and really try to understand what that is. And this is a great website that I use often in order to help look at what career progressions look like. And it's the Cyberseek website, right? So I'll go ahead and share that. Let me say hello to a couple people. Kay Houghton, welcome, welcome, welcome. Salute, salute, welcome to the chat. Yeah, and SANS, yeah, they are good search. Here, let me share this one. Okay. Let me find the Cyberseek website. Oh, okay. So, and this is answering the question that was there before. Let's see. I think it's this one. Are you able to share what certificate or skill provided the most value for your cybersecurity career? I think that actually come back to that because I want to talk about what it looked like for a progression. Okay, so in cybersecurity, I don't think that the progressions look exactly the same for everything, but this is a website that gives a good general foundation in what progressions look like. So typically, when you're looking into like an entry-level type of role in cybersecurity, I would say these are cool, but I think that the cybersecurity analyst looks more like what an entry-level role looks like, right? Cybersecurity analyst is like a typical entry-level cybersecurity job. I don't know why they have it under mid. I know that it can jump into mid too, but I would say this is probably what you would look at first. Cybersecurity specialists, I would switch these. I would switch cybersecurity analysts and cybersecurity specialists. Incident intrusion analyst, this is more when you're like niche, when you're like focused in, or IT auditor. And I guess it's dependent on the I guess industry. But yeah, I would say like the cybersecurity analyst is where a lot of people start off. And then you can kind of get into being a cybersecurity consultant, right? This is something where you're getting hands-on type of experience. You're working in a more customer-facing type of role. You're talking to individuals. You're doing a lot of different projects, getting a lot of different understanding and experience. And this cybersecurity engineer is also something that is, so I would say it looks like this. It will probably look like cybersecurity analyst, then probably cybersecurity engineer, then probably cybersecurity consultant, and then either you go in the manager route with the cybersecurity manager, and then like a cybersecurity architect. These are almost equivocal, except this is like you're starting to manage people, manage projects, project management. You're managing resources, financials. This is kind of you might be responsible for a whole program, like my manager was trying to make me responsible for, right? So that's kind of what cybersecurity manager is. But an architect, and I also was in this role too. That's what I'm going to show next. Cybersecurity architect was kind of maybe 2 or 3 rows later. So I was able to go from kind of like a cybersecurity engineer to a cybersecurity architect type of role. Now, the architect, you are thought of to be the subject matter expert. You're thought of to have very deep knowledge where you're leading out in executing the technical things within the environment. You could be doing process and procedures and documentation, but many times you are the one that is the architect behind the design, right, of what cybersecurity looks like for your environment. So when I was a cybersecurity architect, I was doing a lot of network architecture design, security design. Where am I placing my sensors? What log data is coming off my different hosts and my different assets? And where am I moving that to for a central monitoring or central type of identification of threats and vulnerabilities? Vulnerability assessment and vulnerability management. Many times a cybersecurity architect can wear a lot of those different hats. So let me show you that. But let me check out the chat really quickly. But yeah, so let me just, before I come off this, I don't really know what these roles are, but I would say cybersecurity analyst, cybersecurity engineer / cybersecurity consultant. Those two kind of are synonymous. Then either you want to go to cybersecurity manager route or cybersecurity architect. Now, there can be different things and different roles in the middle of these, before these, or after these, because you can say before a cybersecurity analyst, you might be a IT administrator, right? Or a security administrator or a security technician. That might be a entry level role before you jump into being an analyst. But yeah, so I'm going to talk about the cybersecurity architect. Any questions about that? Let me see. Let me check out the chat before I move on from this one. Yeah. What website is this? Here, I'll throw that right here in the chat. It's called Cyberseek. I'm gonna give you that one. And the one, I'm just throwing it in the chat. I'll just spam it really quickly for you. But yeah, that is that website, Maximo Rush. And welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, Maximo. Yeah. John Good says, my guess is that they are using cybersecurity specialists as like an IT worker. I guess, yeah, true, right? So a system administrator might have cybersecurity responsibilities like identity and access management, right? They might be administering, talk to Kev Tech about it, right? Individuals who manage their Active Directory environments, those individuals have cybersecurity responsibilities too. They're setting password policies. They're setting user privileges. Who are the domain admins? Who are the system admins? Who are the local admins? Those individuals like Kev, they do a lot of that cybersecurity administration, even within that role. Even though it's not I guess a strictly cybersecurity role, they're still doing a lot of those type of responsibilities. Absolutely. The salaries are boss. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they throw the salaries in there too, right? So they're speaking of what it looks like for cybersecurity analysts. On average, it looks like about 107K, right? 107,500. Cybersecurity engineer, a little bit more, 117,510. Consultant, 92K. Architect is even more at the 159 or so. Again, a lot of this is based upon area, so I wouldn't say this is just overall like a baseline. And the manager is about 130 or so. And there's times where, like it shows here, cybersecurity architects make more than managers for certain organizations. So it's very interesting, and that's why it kind of fluctuates. But yeah, very, very, very good salaries there. Very good salaries there. Aiken, it says, how long did you stay at your first cybersecurity role? I stayed there for a little over 2 years. So at my first cybersecurity role, I stayed there for a little over 2 years. And I'm like, I got to get out of there. I got to get out of there because they were transitioning me into the management stuff. So they were giving me like management training and everything. I told them that's not what I wanted to do, but they were trying to force it on me. And I was like, yeah, no, thank you. Let me take the show on the road. And that's when I started doing some contracting and some consulting. Yeah, Kev is mentioning, right? You can just like John said, you can have some of those cybersecurity roles or cybersecurity responsibilities in the cybersecurity specialist role. And these are some of the ones that Kev is talking about here, doing GPO, right? Group policy orchestrator or operator, auditing, Varonis. These are some tools, Splunk and Active Directory. Yeah, you can do cybersecurity and all of that, right? And we use active roles and Varonis to audit people on Active Directory. So there's some level of security auditing even within that role. So yeah, so that's probably that's cybersecurity specialist role. Okay, let me bring this down. Let me see what I want to talk about next. Let's see what I want to talk about next. Yeah, Professor Black Ops said consulting life is great. Absolutely. I jumped into that a little while. It says, man, that's true. At IBM, they were trying to push me into that management side of the house. I told them, no. Yeah, me too. I said no when I left. So yeah, I'm right there with you. Sometimes you guys say no because they sometimes those manager roles are way more stressful than like the individual contributor roles. And there's sometimes where that just might not be something that you're looking for in your career, or that there's management roles that still allow you to do technical things, get your hands on the technology. But a lot of organizations are kind of putting you into management because they might have chopped off the last manager's head while making them leave, or you might just be the most senior person there. So, sometimes they try to throw you into management roles when it's not even your choice to go that route. So I feel you completely. Okay. Let's see. What do I want to talk about next? Any questions? Feel free to throw them in the chat. Okay. Oh, that's what I was talking about. So I was talking about being a cybersecurity architect. So I kind of want to show you, right? So you saw that first role that I had, cybersecurity engineer, working at a nuclear plant back in 2013. And I want to take a zoom into the future. And I want to show you what my offer looked like when I became a cybersecurity architect. So boom, right? Listen, I don't care. I'm just gonna blow it up here, right? So this was my offer for becoming a cybersecurity architect. So the last one was 2013. This one was in 2018. So this is about 5 years later. And it's so interesting because in cybersecurity, 5 years of experience places you at a pretty senior level. Okay. So it says here, on behalf of blank, 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 I am pleased to offer you the position of cyber network architect. They had to change the title. It was cybersecurity architect, but I was focused on network security. That was my focus. Starting, I forgot what that date was. I don't know why I blinked that out, but in 2018. And as you see, right, so initially I went from that 70K with that cybersecurity engineering role in 2013 to a whopping 147K, 680 with a $5,000 sign-on. So you're talking 152K. So I more than doubled my salary in 5 years, which was super dope. Remember how I was mentioning before, I had about 10 days off? Here I had 30 days off, right? So what's that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I had 6 weeks, right? 6 weeks, going from 2 weeks vacation to 6 weeks of vacation. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let's see. Pardon me. 401k plan following a 30 days of service. Sorry. So I didn't go up that much in PTO because they just didn't offer that. So I went from 10 days for the 2013 offer to 15 days, right? So I had 3 weeks now. I had a whopping 3 weeks, which is cool because it was, and also this was a 100% remote role. So back in 2018, I had a 100% remote role. So again, let me maybe can you do side by side? I don't think you can do side by side comparison. Let me just go from the first one so you have a fresh comparison here. My first one in 2013, I'm just going to go over this. This was the first one, right? Nuclear cybersecurity engineer, 70K. I had 10 days of PTO, 401k plan, $4,000 towards a health expense account, right? 70K back in 2013. Now I'm going to show you what it looked like in 2018. 2018, this is the role, right? On behalf, cyber architect, 147,680 with a $5,000 sign-on bonus. So like I mentioned, 152K or so, and also 15 days off and 401k plan, all that. And my first one was on site. So like I mentioned, I had to wear all that hot stuff. I had to wear the dosimetry, had to dress out in that white garb, but I had to walk down systems, hard hat, steel toe boots, uncomfortable clothing. And this one was 100% remote. So the struggle was real initially, right? The struggle was real. 70K, and I'm being stressed out, having to drive an hour and a half into the plant site. I had to go through all types of checks. And at nuclear plants, they have guards and guns, right? So they have guards on top of buildings with guns to make sure people aren't doing anything crazy to the nuclear plant environment. To this, 2018, 100% remote role, more than double my salary. And that's right. That's something I want to express. I'm not just here I don't want to just say like, hey, I'm not trying to stun or anything, but I'm saying these are the possibilities within the field, right? Opening up and showing that, hey, this is where I was. Like I went from 2013, going through all those things, bringing in that particular salary, having to deal with being entry level, people trying to force me into management, to 100% remote role, making more than double of my salary, working from home, and not having to deal with all the internal work or internal work politics and everything. And I'm senior at this point. So, I'm calling a lot of the shots. There's nobody really telling me on my back and on my neck, telling me what I need to do. I knew what I had to do. And again, this is 5 years later. And I just want to kind of present the possibility. And back to the stream title, from humble beginnings, initially from that situation to this situation, 2018. And in 2022, it looks even better, right? So I'm not going to share all of that because I don't think you can, honestly. Well, for the organization I work for, you can't just openly say what salary bands are. They have to present that information. But this was 2018, so which was good. I might show the one from 2020, which is even more. But it's dope, right? So this is the salary progression. These are some of these humble beginnings or so. But I also do want to show you all what it looks like from other people also, right? So I frequent places like Twitter and Reddit and all these different places. And let me see if I can find what I was able to find. And I found an infographic, right? Which was pretty cool. I found it on Reddit, and it kind of showed what some of these salary progressions and role progressions look like. And I'll share this. Actually, let me share it in the chat right now because it's a small graphic, but I want you all to see this. This is the picture, the infographic that I found on Reddit, and I want to share it with you and kind of go over a couple of things with it because it kind of shows what salary progressions look like, but also role progressions. And again, this one is back in like 2020 or so. So actually, let me hit the chat really quickly because I see some chatter happening. Okay. Let's see what people are saying. Yeah, Citizen Lou saying money. Yeah, man. It started to change. A lot of stuff changed, right? Making that bread. Absolutely, right? God is good because he's good. Citizen Lou said, crazy how changing jobs is the best way. Listen, that's the conversation. Changing jobs is definitely the best way of getting a raise. And it's not to say that you just change based upon just the money, or you can do that, right? But I do think that you get a better bang for your buck when you change for career progression reasons, for you to be positioned into where you're trying to go, right? Before the money. I don't think that money should be the only consideration for you changing jobs, but when you change when you change jobs, that money changes a lot of times. So those are the salaries. Yeah, those are salaries I drink. Listen, me too. That's what I'm saying. Me too. And a lot of it came from just applying. I would apply to 4, 5, 6, 7 different jobs. And also, I think one thing that's really important is having that strong network of people, right? When you're able to reach out to someone that's able to reach out to a hiring manager, then things are really different. Actually, I got that 152 or so K job, that security architect job, because I reached out to somebody who knew somebody that was hiring, and I reached out to them on LinkedIn. And it was pretty much streamlined. It was a very quick interview process. I maybe interviewed with 2 or 3 people. It was just general basic conversations. And it was very easy to transition into that role because they already had a familiarity with my plug, the person who knew about me. So, it was a very easy transition. So having that network and being able to kind of get with people was pretty dope. So listen, Lou, yeah, Trent, yeah, that 100, listen, changing. And also, I was not living in California. I was not living in New York. I was not living in anywhere with a high cost of living. I think I was living in like a low cost of living place. I was living in, where is this? I split it between the two because I was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which isn't a very high cost of living area. And then I went to Toledo, Ohio, where my wife was going to school. So, I mean, making that in low cost of living areas, that money went a lot further. Right. So, DoorDash didn't become an issue anymore. Right. So it was wild. It was almost 3 times my, listen, man. Hey, listen, I think, and again, the reason for me saying this is to say the possibilities in this field. It's a very hot field even now, right? It's a very hot field even now. So whether it is 3 times the salary or whatever, it's possible, not only for me, but it's possible for you too. Let's see. Trent mentioned that's crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. What's up, Astro? What's good? Welcome. What you say? But yep, the goal is the only way to make the money is to change jobs, not careers. Absolutely, and just start to specialize. Like I mentioned, I was doing nuclear cybersecurity, and that is kind of like a subset of what you call industrial control systems. So that SCADA stuff that you were talking about before as cyber scientists, SCADA security, industrial control systems, that became hotter and hotter as more and more hacks had come out. So I don't know if you all have seen one of my videos. It's called Russian cyber hacking, where I kind of went over what some of the previous hacks were for Russian, like what Russia has been doing to Ukraine. One of them was like Triton, right? So Triton was a type of malware that affected the Ukrainian electrical grid. And guess when this happened? This happened around 2000 So let me actually want to put even more emphasis, right? So that Ukrainian grid hack happened around 2017. Okay, look at when I got this offer in 2018. Okay, so that was something that was huge within industrial control systems, huge within operational technology, cybersecurity. Many times when organizations get hacked, when large threat actors affect organizations and people, this is what happens. Listen, yesterday's price isn't today's price when a threat actor is hacking, right? So yesterday's price isn't today's price. So that large hack, and there was so much conversation around it back in 2017. Triton happened in 2017. I got this offer in 2018. That, like, it's almost like I can almost attribute some of my salary increases to the threat activity from the bad guys. Thank you, Russia. Not a good thing, but I mean, the market is the market. As organizations and chief information security officers and CEOs see more of what bad guys can do today, that drives up the salaries and the numbers for skilled cybersecurity professionals. So those numbers are even higher today. You said, how do you not get stuck in entry level? You apply to non-entry level. One, you make it very clear to your direct manager or your supervisor that you don't want to stay there, right? You let them know, hey, what are promotion opportunities within this organization, and what do I need to get there? You can even set up meetings. We've had some discussion about this, but setting up meetings with your manager to let them know, hey, I want to go to the next level. Let's set up a meeting, and let me give you an update on what I'm doing to work towards that. It might look like a certification. It might look like additional education. It might look like you taking on a leadership role for a certain project that's coming for the organization. Those are things that lend to promotion and not being stuck in entry-level roles within your organization. Or if your manager or direct supervisor is not trying to see what you're trying to see in your career progression, just like Seven Scientists said, just like Citizen Lou said, you leave. You start applying to roles that are more senior to the role that you're currently in. I think those are the two telltale ways in order to not get stuck in entry level, is that really you taking your career by the balls, right? Sorry, lack of a better term, but you taking your career and you putting it on your back and you going forward with it as you see fit. You don't let your organization control your career progression. You are a free agent there. So hopefully that helps. Aiken says, what do you do initially after leaving? What you do initially after leaving the first job for the next 2 to 5 years before landing a, okay, so I did contracting. So that was a thing, right? So that was one thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to gain more experience in multiple areas where I'm able to be a bit more of a rarity in the market. Many times people work for one organization for the entirety of their career, right? So they only get exposed to certain type of technology, certain type of environments. They only have so small of a network of people that they've worked with. I started contracting where I did 2 contracting gigs. One lasted about 10 to 12 months, where I was what you call like a security assessor, where it was an organization, it was another nuclear plant organization that was getting ready to get inspected, and they needed assessors to come in to make sure that they're ready for their inspection. So I'm going through documentation for Cisco network switches. I'm looking at firewall logs. I'm understanding the different assets and the hosts and ways for them to harden. And I'm giving them recommendations for what they need to do in order to prepare for their inspection. I did 1 contracting gig there. And the second one I did was with a reactor manufacturer called Westinghouse. So I contracted, how long was I there? For almost 2 years, two and a half years. They liked me so much, they kept me on for so long. So I was contracting for almost more than 2 years, almost 3 years or so. And I was pretty much drafting documentation for new nuclear plant installation. So they have like a next generation nuclear plant called the AP1000s. So Westinghouse makes these AP1000s nuclear reactors, and they wanted to make sure that all the cybersecurity stuff around that reactor was taken care of. So they brought me in as a nuclear cybersecurity specialist in order to help draft documentation. But I was also doing SAT and FAT testing. So security assessment, SAT, FAT, functional assessment training. I forget these acronyms, all right? So I was doing SAT and FAT testing on different devices. So I would make like a little lab, like a mini lab, where I'm using like a switch, maybe an industrial firewall. I would use like a different laptop, and I would have like a device, like a PLC talking what like Modbus or Ether IP, and I would configure the firewall to make sure that it was able to block certain traffic. I was just doing this testing and kind of getting devices and systems ready in order to be deployed at plants. So that's what I was doing. Long story short, that's what I was doing for those 2.5 years before I got that $147K job. Yeah, that was a lot. I'll try to make it shorter so I can get to more of the comments. Yeah, man. So my first job was $9 an hour, right? Humble beginnings. Let's go. Like that directly aligns with what we're talking about now, right? Humble, it says $9 an hour. Second job was 22. Third job was 35 an hour, right? Humble beginnings. He doubled, tripled, quadrupled his salary over his first, second, and third job. That's how it is. Welcome, True Light. The True Light. Salute. Welcome to the chat. Gear Z, welcome to the chat. He says, I pulled away from cybersecurity to focus on network engineering before I enter a cybersecurity role. That's a very good foundation to have together before you jump into cybersecurity. Because that was actually, like I mentioned before, early in my career, they just threw me into cybersecurity stuff. But I didn't have that system administration. I didn't have that networking experience. I didn't have what you are working on right now. So I actually, while I was contracting, I was still certing up. So I actually got the CCNA while I was on one of my contract roles because I recognized that I had a networking gap. I'm like, I don't really know what these communication protocols, like I was saying, I was doing the SAT and FAT testing. And I'm like, yo, I need to understand what these communication protocols are doing. I need to understand how to configure network switches. I need to understand the command line interface. I need to understand all of those different things. And the thing about it is that I needed that networking experience. So I got it later. I got it when I was already within the field of cybersecurity. But I think you're doing the right thing, right? I definitely think you're doing the right thing. What do tech organizations value the most in a tech newbie? Oh my gosh, man, these are great questions. And I'm just so long-winded a bit at times because there's such great questions. I think I'll say one thing. They desire a willingness to learn. Willingness, right? A willingness to learn and grow. Because you can hire somebody with all the tech skills that's done all the penetration testing and incident response stuff. They can do everything. But if they are like mentally kind of stuck where they are, if they're not willing to learn and grow and expand their skill set, where they can even get to that of program management, where they're looking at different scheduling and financials, that's also important if you're going into some of these cybersecurity roles. You need to have a willingness to learn and grow in your field rather than just being focused on, hey, I got all the tech stuff. So I'll say that. Let's see. If you are not the smartest guy, which part is easy to get into? The smartest guy? Man, I'm not the smartest guy, okay? Like, I know I'm rambling off all this stuff like nuclear and cybersecurity, all the stuff that I did, but I'm not the smartest guy. I think it's always been where I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is me planning my learning path to get to what I want to do and then executing on it. And it's really just been consistency. So I don't think it's even just necessarily just being smart, but it is you really planning your learning path. I think that's what's most important. So I can't answer your question because you're probably just as smart as me, quote unquote, right? So I think just planning that learning path is the most important thing. Okay, let's see. Good thing about this field is that all new specialties have risen up. Like, yes, identity and access management is big right now. A lot of organizations are looking for that. You control the ball, you don't control it. Yes, absolutely. If your manager doesn't take care of you, it's time to leave. And I think you're speaking of what they were speaking about before. True Light said the CCNA is a game changer. Absolutely, it surely is. You talk about humble beginnings. Professor Black Ops in here. He said his first job was $28K. He was at $28K. Man, humble beginnings. How much time do you spend away from work, studying and practicing new tech skills? Let's see. I say I spend probably like an hour and a half a day learning something new or reading something new, learning something new, expanding on something I already have. And also aligns several of my projects on that. So probably an hour, hour and a half a day of learning something new and growing in something. Yeah. Cyber Scientist says, help desk was my first gig, $8 an hour. Listen, humble beginnings. Humble beginnings. Kamar says, Struggle Security, do you plan on creating a cybersecurity course? I don't mind paying for the course. Yeah, absolutely. That is actually one of my goals, right? That's one of my goals, is creating a cybersecurity course. I do want to make it very applicable to some like skill sets that I know that I utilize within the field. Like, you can gain a high level understanding of things, but I think it's important that you get some real world type of experience. So I might focus on, like, I might have a course on a tool, right? Maybe like a Wireshark course, right? That's a very important tool that be used for packet analysis, for security incidents. It can be used for a lot of different things. Or I might do something on like Nmap, Network Mapper, right? That's a tool, a command line tool that you can use in order to scan, find different hosts, understand the vulnerabilities, be able to do all types of things. So I might do like a tools course, or I might just do a high level cybersecurity, but I don't know yet. It's coming soon though. Yes, Cyber Scientist said, oh, 28K was $13 an hour. Absolutely, anytime. Waiting on that course. No, don't be waiting. Listen. It's gonna come when it's gonna come. Okay, all right. I'm not. It'll come one day. One day. Okay, I did want to share this with you, and then I'm gonna drop the link because I can't be on here forever. Okay, I did want to share this with you, and I dropped that in the chat, but I kind of want to zoom in on some of these different things that we see here. Okay, so this is what you call like an IT career roadmap. I found this on Reddit, and this was the one from back in 2020, but I don't think this is too far off from where you see different salaries and things. I think salaries, they might be able to be adjusted probably 20K or so more, 15 to, I'd say 10 to 15, 10 to 20K more, right? So you can just shift that up a little bit. So the thing that I'm looking at here, and it kind of goes, the things I like, okay, I'm going to kind of zoom in here and there. It's like kind of, it does this early career, mid-career, late career, extended career. I kind of like that, right? I kind of like how it kind of breaks that up. But then it also goes into different specialties, right? It goes into different specialties within these different areas. So it looks like the red here is for IT, like business operations, business analyst, kind of like an IT analyst type of role, and it kind of shows you what the progression looks like. This looks like an overall IT generalist, where you're starting like a help desk intern, maybe desktop support intern, and you kind of transition and go further in your career. But the one that we're going to focus on here, because this one is networking, cloud, data center, a SharePoint engineer, application developer, or software engineer. One that we're going to look at here is the one for security. So early career, right? So early career, it aligns it with, and hopefully you all can see that well. Hopefully I'm zooming in well. So early careers, like a security trainee, security technician, junior pen tester, security analyst. These all are kind of aligned, IT auditor, aligned with what it looks like for early career, right? So humble beginnings, this is where you are typically at your early career, if you're kind of going based upon this. And then it aligns you with some different salaries that you can expect. So it looks like early career goes from somewhere around a 35K salary for entry level to somewhere around a 65 to 70K, right, for a salary, which is good, right? 65 to 70K for something entry level. Then you can get into things like this, right? So this is like more of like the mid-career. And I heard people like Textual Chatter was speaking about doing kind of that incident management, security operations center lead, or operations center management. These are people who will work in a SOC environment, security operations center environment, like an incident management specialist, incident management lead, which I know Textual Chatter has been in his career. But then you also get some like GRC stuff, right? Some things that aren't specifically technical roles in cybersecurity, and they can look like risk compliance specialist, risk compliance lead. These are roles that might be with the Department of Defense. These are roles that might be with different entities like Booz Allen or something. But it's like a lot of times defense contracting, or you can do this for overall like enterprise organizations. And you can get into things like pen tester, junior pen tester. These are kind of roles that are more of like offensive cybersecurity, But you can also do things like forensic specialist, forensics lead. These are like incident responders, and these can go into, which I was just about to say, a malware reverse engineer, malware developer, and those can be some kind of cool little roles. And those are mid. And then it also kind of branches off a little bit into like an incident manager, security engineer, one that we talked about, one that I had, security manager. These are all kind of mid type of career, kind of branches into that mid a little bit there. And then when you look at the salaries, it kind of goes from that 70K to that 115K. Now, what I would do here is that I would take these and kind of shift it up maybe 20K or so, because this was back in 2020. But I think that this is, you can add 20K to this, right? So some of these roles, like a cybersecurity engineer, if you're even doing like risk compliance work, you can increase that to like 120, 130 maybe. So that's kind of where it's at for those mid career levels. Then late career, or like a senior or principal type of role, these are the ones that we were talking about, right? You're a security engineer, a senior security engineer, security architect. That was the role that I was in, senior security architect. But if you're doing kind of like that forensics type of piece, you might get into a malware researcher or a malware developer. Security manager is one that I was mentioning, like you might become a leader of your own team or leader of a program. Incident manager, when something goes bad, when something goes bump in the night for an organization, this is the person that leads out in that investigation or in that particular role. And again, like I mentioned, you can probably shift this up another 20K or so, right? So I would say this probably starts off around 130K when you get into some of those senior roles, to somewhere around that 160. And I would say this is probably base salary, right? 160, 170 or so when you're getting into some of these type of roles. And then when you're talking about extended career, you are a leader for an organization. I would even add, it's saying here that associate, a CISO, associate chief information security officer. That's like the executive level or associate executive level for organizations. This can even translate into a security director for an organization. And a CISO is the leader of security for any organization. Chief information security officer. No, listen, I would say this starts, an associate CISO or a director probably starts at around a 250K salary, right? And it goes up because you have to think about what organization you're working for. A CISO can make even in the millions, right? For certain organizations. So if you're like the CISO for like Nike, right? You're protecting a lot of things, a lot of high profile, a lot of very visible assets and items. You're protecting trade secrets. You're protecting all types of things. Athletes, yeah, you're probably making in the millions here, right? It's probably going up. It's going up. Or even if you're looking at that within like consulting firms, you might see this as like a partner, right? Or an associate partner or a vice president of cybersecurity. You get into the 500Ks or so, it's up there. It's very much so up there. So just wanted to kind of present that to you, right? Talking about humble beginnings, where you're starting off going from one point and you're growing and growing and growing in that type of experience. Let me take this and put it in the chat several more times for your own viewing pleasure. Let me throw that in the chat. And I'm going to drop the link because I don't want to tarry with you all for longer, but for too much longer. I don't want people to get too tired here because we're getting into those evening hours. Okay, let me throw this in the chat and let you all know that I'm about to drop the link and that you all can come and talk about your own humble beginnings. And if you all want to talk more about what that looked like, right? What some of those career progressions and what that looked like for you. So feel free to hit the link. Like I said, link is dropped. Come on up. But yeah, those are some things I want to share with you, right? What these career progressions look like, what some of these salaries are, not getting pigeon-held or held within one role or one area within your field, within your role, but being able to grow and to progress as you see fit. I am going to, let's see. Definitely needed that link. I'm happy that it was a value for you. Yeah. Okay, Ashley, you said you could see it good. Okay. Trey, I just dropped it. I just dropped the link, and welcome, Professor Black Ops. Welcome, man.
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I can hear you now. Absolutely.
No, like you said, it's humble beginnings. It's a process. So you just got to
absolutely
play the long game too, man. Just make sure you get your fundamentals. Networking is definitely on top, man. So
man,
you need them networking skills. So definitely,
it was hard, man. It was hard for me because I was. Let me tell you, I was assigned to configure a switch. I'm like, switch? Like, what you mean a switch? So I literally, for one of my engagements when I was contracting, I had to learn like the command line within like a couple of weeks or so I'm able to execute. Like, it kind of like that's one thing that contracting did for me. It kind of like pressured me into learning. It kind of put me in a like
I call it a hot box. You being there, and sometimes the client's looking at you. You like, I got to figure this out on the spot.
Yeah, man.
Real quick.
Yeah,
so I've been there before.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but my first.
What you think about this one?
Say that again.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was going to ask you what you thought about this question, huge, or you can start from wherever you want to start.
No, we can jump on that. Like, I get that question a lot on my channel too, and it really surprised me. I guess I'm old and grumpy. If you work on your skills, like Gabe say, every day, you get your certifications, you get your degrees, then you're confident because you have the fundamentals, right? Like Gabe, I try to learn something every quarter and be proficient. Yeah. You don't have to be an expert, but if you're proficient in a lot of stuff, you can easily survive. But
right.
But I can see that too, especially Black people, Black men. A lot of times I'm the only Black person there, and a lot of times a lot of people feel that pressure, right? I always tell people, when all eyes on me, I'm going to shine. I'm going to show you how smart I am. I'm going to show you I'm about my craft, right? So you can turn it around. So that's not imposter syndrome. That's your time to show people how smart you are. And my favorite word, I'm about this cyber life, man. I take this very seriously. Yeah. I'm fat and I eat very well, right? So I need to focus. You chime in on that, Gabe. I'm on my soapbox, man. I'm gonna let you get a little.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah, definitely with the imposter syndrome. It's like, man, like I'm telling you, most things that I do within my career, like I just ask for it because I know that it makes me uncomfortable. Like I don't think I still don't feel comfortable in what I'm doing, right? I don't feel comfortable at all. I feel like if I'm able to perform to a high level at this thing, that it will be something that will benefit me well at the end. I don't feel like I'm just gonna do it and it's gonna be the best at it. I feel like this will be something that will push me forward. So I think that maybe creating a level of discomfort in all of the work that you do, something that would challenge you, right? If I know that it's challenging, if I know that it's difficult, I am always for it. So the imposter syndrome thing, it kind of falls away when I'm like, this is the norm. My discomfort in doing this thing is the norm. So
I'm a little older than you, so I think, and shout out to Keep It Techie coming on board, is when you constantly learning, constantly working on your craft, constantly labbing, constantly working on your thing. It's just, to me, it's just another day in the office. Something I got to pick up, something I got to learn. I don't even get discomfort anymore. I'm like, let me roll up my sleeves. This is what I get paid for. And I tell people, I get paid when shit go left. If it all was smooth, you don't need me. When people look for me, when stuff go left, people look at me. What we gonna do? I'm like, and sometimes it could be simple as this. I was at this consult. People were freaking out. I know two smartest people in the back end. I'm like, get system admin with the database. They need to talk because the system stopped working. I'm like, I need to get out the way. Why am I going to be micromanaging? People were freaking out. Sometimes it's like, get them two people together and step back. Let them do their job, right? But you got to be comfortable like that because you've been there, Gabe, when stuff go left, people are panicking. They don't know what to do. They want to meet every hour. I'm like, dude, we can't meet every hour. I can't get shit done.
Yeah, man.
Jump in there. Keep
what you think about that? Keep it. Yeah, I was about to say, welcome, Keep It Techie.
Jump in there.
He's talking about this question on the thing right now. Talk about have you ever dealt with imposter syndrome? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, pretty much in all my positions, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. You're not gonna know everything that they put out there that's required for the job. Some of the stuff you're gonna have to, and they taking a chance on you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to sit there and work late, stay late, and try to figure this stuff out. You know what I'm saying? As much as you can. You just got to put in the work. I mean, you gonna feel like you don't belong. You don't like. These people really hired me for this job, you know what I'm saying? They really think I can do this, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have those thoughts pop up in your head. You just gotta push through it and figure it out, man. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I get.
I feel that. I do want to ask the question to my panelists about kind of like humble beginnings. And so like when y'all were at the early stages of your career, did you all see a path forward, or did you think that you were going to be in that role for the longest? Like, what was that like? Like, could you see forward? Did you plan to say, like, hey, I'm gonna make this move, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it's gonna leave me in the role that I'm at now? Or did you think it was some cloudiness? Tell me about that. Like, what was your vision early in your career? Or did you not have any?
You want to go? Or you want me to go? Keep it taking.
Nah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, mine was a little different. Shout out to Citizen Lou and the cyber scientist. I started off as a programmer. So junior programmer, you're going to be a programmer. I had a vision that I was going to be a system analyst. Then I was going to be a DBA, because I Googled, keep it taking, gonna laugh, when I was making 28, that was 1990. DBAs was making 50. I'm like, Lord, if I could be a DBA, I'm going to be blessed. So I kind of see my path forward doing that. Then once again, I was on the client side of the Department of Defense, and China was whipping up on DOD, so they train everybody at the contract. And I just kind of looked up into cybersecurity, 15 years ago, and I've been eating well ever since, man. So, but now as a programmer, I just caught my path, because in the old days, you couldn't get searched and kind of like jump the line. Like when I was young, you junior, boom, then the network right there was a path for the technical guys. Then you were expected to go on management, right? Now you could get a cert, just bam, cybersecurity, or get a cert, be a DBA. In the old days, you had to be like a programmer than this to become a DBA. You just couldn't jump to become a DBA. But two is keep it taking, be mad. I get mad at a lot of DBAs because the DBA's customers are the programmers. And a lot of DBAs don't understand what programming is. I'm like, well, how can you help me, man? Right? But it's different. Like exchange, that's old school. I don't want the chat getting on me, man. I'm changing. I'm old. But in the old days, it was more of apprentice. You had to do that ladder. But then when you did that ladder, the people behind you, you knew how to handle them, because most DBAs ain't never programmed anymore. Right.
So what I'm hearing is that you saw the next step, but you didn't see where you're at now.
No,
right? Because it's not like you said that you saw the next role. You were looking at to be a DBA to hit the 50K or so.
But now I felt it, because like you said, if you look at cybersecurity, that's probably really only been 15 years old where it hit everybody. Now there was always cybersecurity at the top, but now everybody's trying to get into cybersecurity. So I kind of got in it. Like I said, I think I was a web admin spinning up servers, and once again, I was at the DOD site, and China was eating them up, so they just came train everybody on Stigs, Gabe. That's how I got in the game, Stigging boxes. So
no Stigs, man. No Stigs today, man.
Shout out to the Stigs. Let Keep It Techie get in there, man. I'm on my soapbox. So let Keep It Techie get on there.
How about you, Keep It Techie? Did you see the role before you went down it? Like, was it clear? Did you know exactly what you wanted to do, or was it a little murky?
I did know what exactly I wanted to do, and that was dope. I wanted to be a network engineer or a network administrator, in the beginning. Now obviously that didn't work out, you know what I'm saying, but things were different when I first, hopped into the field. We didn't have all these companies didn't have the infrastructure that they have now. You know what I'm saying? And so networking was the one of the biggest areas that they were trying to get people to come in. You know what I'm saying? And so my plan, I had it mapped out. I was like, I'm gonna get my Network Plus, which I got my Network Plus, and then next thing was gonna be CCNA, and I forget the rest of the other ones, the higher up ones, but that was the plan. You know what I'm saying? And it just didn't go that direction, and that's why I always try to tell people, you kind of never know where you're gonna end up, and it's similar to your story. You was gonna do nuclear engineering, and then you ended up, cybersecurity. I was planning on doing networking. I ended up as a database administrator. I've done that work. You know what I'm saying, and then I just ended up where I ended up. It's just a matter of But go ahead. That's all I want.
No. I'm just saying, yeah. So
yeah,
and that's dope because I think that that's something that is part. I think that that's part of the journey. Like you going forward, but then you see another path in a different direction that is more advantageous, or it might be something more that you want to do, right? And I think that that's all part of being flexible. Is really understanding where the market is going, where technology is going, where you could be most of service, of use, and if it's something that you might be more interested in. Like I wanted to be a senior reactor operator, so kind of like the responsible version of a Homer Simpson. So these are the people that's working in the reactor room who are pretty much controlling reactivity. They're controlling the whole entire plant as everything is happening. Now that's a very good career, very stressful, but at the same time, it doesn't have anything to do with cybersecurity. So when they was putting me on these cybersecurity projects, I'm like, yo, this is something different. So I'm like, this sounds a bit more interesting and a bit more aligned with what I want to do in my career. And then I just kind of expanded on it. So yeah, I didn't know what it looked like for myself until I was in it. Like I think I mistakenly got into cybersecurity, and that was it.
Yeah, like you said, I fell into. But the cool thing about IT, especially when it comes to cybersecurity, is I'm old, man. I'll be 55 this year, man. I missed a year. My son was teasing me, man. I'm old, man. But your skills stack on each other. So when I became a programmer, once I got in cybersecurity, part of that's purple team. The first thing people attack is your application security. So understand validation, go understanding. Shout out to Keep It Tech. And when the web server connects to the database, there's a JDBC connection. If I'm on Linux, I can just do a TCP dump and look out if it's not encrypted, right? As a programmer, you understand those. And as a DBA, I was a DBA, you understand those databases. You need it encrypted. You need the SSL. So your skills stack on each other, right? If you're a network, right, you got to control your package. You got to control your sub. That's right. So each one of those skills. So when you become a security architect or a security manager, you need all those skills to be a good architect, right? If you just if you just can connect security network, then you're really not an architect, right? So the architect does the full gamut of security. So that's fun about networking, app server, web server, database, right? F5, that's the whole thing. This is the last time I'm gonna say it, Gabe. You can stick it on.
Here we go. Here we go to sticks. You hear this guy? You hear this talking about sticks?
Right.
So here we see Savage Scientist. Savage Scientist has his own plan here. He said his was A+, Network Plus, NCSE, and then 100K. So he had money at the end of here. So that was his.
But then he became a programmer, so it didn't go that way. But shout out to him. But
that's the thing. Things change, and that's cool.
But the cool thing, once again, is I keep taking this. All those skills you learn, even the ones you decide, well, I don't really like that, I'm gonna do something else. Those skills go into you understanding your whole security stack. And that's what really makes you valuable, because a lot of my jobs, my thing is to interface with all the other teams on security. I don't do the security. I just go to Keep It Tech. Man, how are we gonna? Well, he's a Microsoft guy. I need to do, transparent encryption, right? We're gonna get the blocks on the database. What that's gonna look like? App server, what's that JDBC ASP? I go to the Cisco guys. I go to Savage Scientists. How we gonna do these OWASP top 10? How we gonna lock down the validation, right? But you need to understand that, and all those jobs help you understand the totality of security.
Yeah.
Take a shot. No, I need to get back and take a shot. Shout out to Kev Tech, the businessman on LinkedIn. Go ahead.
Do you all have any recommendations for people in the chat for them to understand how to go, how to plan the next step? Or do you all have any resources that you look at? I know I shared a couple, like the Cyberseek website, or even that other infographic I found on Reddit.
I like that.
But how do you all, do you all go to any go-to resources to understand, hey, this is what I want to do next, and this helps me plan more for my career path?
Well, how I do it, but I ain't got much time left though, so I always say I only got about another 10, and I'm shutting down.
Get this guy out of here.
But no, what I do is kind of like what you do. My thing is, and everybody's been talking about, for me, the cloud is the now and the future. So I'm like, let me get in cloud security. That's the next bag, right? Let me get some certs. Right. So what can I take in my background to help me get into AWS and get this next? Like we talked about, that's the 200K bag when you talk about stock options, restricted stock options, and bonus. That's a whole different game, when you're trying to get that AWS life. So what do I need to get in there? I say, okay, search. Like you just did, what are the patterns in AWS from a security standpoint? Is that a SysOp? Is that an architect? Is that DevSecOps? Is that SecOps? So I came up with a path. So that's kind of how I did mine to get to what I believe will be the next bag in the next 10 years. So I think for me, that's the cloud. So I went.
So you're looking at the trends.
Yeah, because everybody know everybody's moving to the cloud, man. The government's moving to the cloud, private industry, because most people don't want to run that infrastructure on-prem. Now you're gonna run a few infrastructures for your laptops and your workstation, but hell, most people working from home now either. So that infrastructure on-prem is getting so small, everybody going to the cloud. And really, I think only like 30% of the companies are in the cloud still. They still got a whole lot more to get to the cloud, happening. Right. So that's what I thought. Got that trend. I said, okay, AWS is the 800-pound gorilla. This is my background. How can I make that work with AWS? So that's kind of how I did it.
That makes sense. How about you, Keep It Techie?
Oh, yeah. And what I was going to say was it all depends on where you at in your career. Like if you're a beginner, full-blown beginner, then I always point people to the Comptia Roadmap. And that'll give you a layout of the introductory skills you need in order to get into the field. And it's a whole bunch of different areas you can go into. If you look at that map, it tells you like entry level, and then you can go to cyber route, you can go to networking route, and then go from there. Obviously once you start looking in to the area that you're most interested in, you'll see the other certs that tie to that as well. So networking, you're gonna obviously start seeing, Cisco, that's where I need to go. I need to look at these Cisco certifications. And so they have a roadmap as well, and they break down, what certs you need to take in order to go the direction. They got a security area, in the Cisco certs, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to do security for networking, then the Cisco, certifications over there. And then cloud, everybody talks about the cloud, just like what PBO said, they got that breakdown of the cloud certs, especially on AWS as well as Azure and all those different, other platforms.
Okay. Let's talk about it. I mean, this is is this the one that you're talking about?
Yep. That's one.
Okay. Dope. Okay. So which one? Let's see. Have you been down any of these? I think you've hit on some of these.
Yeah.
So it looks like it breaks it down.
Yeah. Before it didn't have cloud. When I remember first, starting out, it was just networking. And so it kind of took you down that route. You want to get those A+ certs, which I opted to skip that because I went through a networking program. I got an associate's degree. So I skipped that. You know what I'm saying? I went straight to the Network Plus. Yep. And so I just followed from there. Yeah. And then I started getting jobs dealing with analyst work. And so I just kind of stopped with the networking. I was like, okay, well, I need to kind of figure out this data stuff, this data.
Sure. And that's on here too. I think data's on here too, right?
Yeah, they came out with one not that long ago. I think I did a video on it. It's called Data Plus. It's a new cert that they just came out with this year. It's
Data Plus. Boom.
Yeah, Data Plus. Yep.
So the orange is the data one, and it looks like that goes kind of like a DevOps type of path.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool. And speaking more on this one, this is where you went, right? Professor Black Ops, the AWS Solutions Architect.
Yeah. I got that. Yeah, I got the solution. It's the AWS developer on there. That's probably in the orange.
Okay, that's probably in the orange.
Where
AWS developer. This one?
Yeah. No, that's DevOps. To the left. I saw like Beyonce to the left. Yeah, so I got that one. I got that one.
Okay.
AWS, the SysOps, I'm about to take that in 3 weeks. Then I'm gonna take the professional architect.
Here, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take and put this link in the chat for everybody to be able to see.
Yeah, and it's dope because Comptia doesn't just put their certs on
they've
there.
already
They
done
put everybody else's
Mhm.
certs on there as well.
They definitely do. I see that.
You know, it ties to. So
I see some of these security certs. Go ahead.
I got the AWS security too. They call them specialties on AWS. So I got the AWS security specialty. So I think I got 4. So I'm trying to get 7 in the end. So I don't know. One of Black Heights guys got 40 certs. So I'm like, well, if he can get 40, hell, I can get 10, man.
40. What is he doing with 40 certs?
Man, taking certs, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
So he seemed to be getting the job. So I'm like, so I ain't gonna get 40, but I don't know. Actually, engineering cannabis got me looking into because AWS has got machine learning and data science certs now at AWS. So I might do that. So I don't know.
And kind of looking at this a little bit, right? I know there's detractors who go against the Comptia stuff, but like,
man, I don't even
so
want
the
to go
blue
there,
here
man.
is security, right? The blue here is for security plus, network plus, security plus. For a lot of people that I interview, I see that they have those 3 as the foundations, and they typically are they're very good candidates, right? So A plus, network plus, security plus. I don't see the server plus a lot, but as we were talking about before, that's CCNA. I think who was speaking of that? Kamar Brown. They were speaking of that one, and that was really a game changer for me in security. That was really a game changer because having that security plus that networking is a super duper great combination. And then actually, I got the certified ethical hacker after that one. I actually have the GCIH, I have the GSLC, and there's some that aren't on here. But yeah, man, this is pretty dope because there's like they have a whole bunch of certs that aren't really on here right now. But
my
the CISSP typically is that last one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. Is me and Cyber Scientist thinking about doing some CISP stuff together. So I missed it by 6 questions 15 years ago. I should have took it. That's one of my big regrets.
Well, you know, it's different now. It's
I know it's
behavioral. Yeah,
one of my buddies just passed it, so I'm But the crazy thing is, I got CISPs calling me, asking me questions. So,
And what's dope too, just like thanks for this, Keep It Techie, because it goes into and it breaks down what each of the certifications are and who the certifying bodies are. So eLearn Security, GAC, they have several of those here. I don't even know what Miles 1 is, but Mile 1, but they're here. Tableau, that's something else that's starting to jump up. Have you guys been hearing a lot about Tableau?
I did that on my last job. I didn't, from a security risk standpoint, I didn't like Tableau, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Because it's a web server and a database all meshed into one. Some of their security, it's probably a lot better now. I looked at it probably, oh my God.
I interviewed a guy a while back and what he pushes a lot is people learning Tableau.
Tableau's hot now. Tableau is hot. I just don't like it from a security perspective, but a lot of people use it. A lot of big companies use it.
Dope. Okay, I'm gonna hit some of these. Let's see. What happened? I couldn't post something. No worries. Okay, say everything you own in a box to the left. Oh yeah, that's when you were saying to the left. What do y'all think of the CCNA DevOps? I don't know too much about it. I think Dewan has that one. He kind of was going down the DevOps type of.
He works for AWS now, I think.
But I don't know too much about that one. Do y'all know anything about that one?
Nah, I haven't.
I know DevOps. Yeah, I'm gonna do it from AWS perspective. I don't know it from a networking perspective.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna hit some of these comments, and then we probably do closing thoughts pretty soon. It says, should I surpass network certs and go for cloud cert? Since that seems to be the trick. What do you think? Because
get that networking cert. Because to me, networking is the basis of the cloud. I mean, because I was struggling, man, with some networking questions because I don't do a lot of networking. I think you should do the networking and just, once again, it's going to stack on each other because in the cloud, your VPC, you got to do the subnet for your VPC. So you got to have some understanding of a subnet. For me, when you go in the cloud, especially in security, once again, all that's going to stack on each other. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And I think that I was going to say this really quickly is that in many organizations, there's still a lot of antiquated networks and systems. Just like Black Ops was speaking before, he was saying, hey, a lot of organizations still have not completely migrated to the cloud. So if you're trying to look for work now, you're trying to get your experience now. Many of these organizations are not cloud first, right? I think it's important for you to have some of that networking background where you understand if switches, routers, communication protocols, TCP, UDP, all that type of communication is super important. To it's kind of like the foundations of any type of networking or security or cloud.
Let me jump in for keeping technical. I mean, most people are hybrid. Like most of my big clients, they're doing a VPN up to the cloud. So you got to configure all that so it looks like one network. Most people are going to go hybrid. Right. They're not going to just go up in the cloud 100%. So they're going to be hybrid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and PBO, correct me if I'm wrong, but go ahead. I've been going through this training because I haven't completed the training yet, but I've been going through the AWS practitioners training.
Yeah.
And essentially all you're doing is understanding how to navigate the system, the pricing and all that stuff. And if you get just that cloud cert and don't understand anything else, the only troubleshooting thing you could do is just hit reboot in the back end. You ain't gonna know what else to do.
Yikes. People out here trying to change the world with cloud certs.
Like you said, you need to know that fundamentals. And I don't want to call anybody out, but I just was on the AWS loop with 5-hour interview, man. They would tear my ass up because I need to get a little more lab underneath my belt. Real life work, man. They be asking them questions. A couple of them start stuttering. I'm like, I ain't never done that before. But you need that foundation, and a lot of it starts with networking, man. Your first thing is your VPC. When you set up before you start spinning up anything, you got to have your networking set up 3-tier, 4-tier. How you gonna do that? And that's the basis of that's network. All that's networking. Got the basis of it. But,
so there we go, right? I think we all agree across the line. Pegging 180, we saying, hey, try to go for that networking first. Yeah, man. It says I also have a personal blog where I post my projects, but anytime I apply for anything, I get hit with the not enough experience stick. Any advice on uncovering this? Renzo, man, put your information here. I would say post your blog down in there. I'll go ahead and promote it.
Yeah,
but anything you guys have on that before? Because I'm gonna make sure that we promote that blog.
Yeah, Renzo, my thing is I need a little more information of that. Post your blog. Are you just blogging it, or me? I have an AWS account where I can show them my VPC. I can show them my S3. I can show them I'm using Kinesis and how I'm doing it at a project level. So when you're saying projects, are you just talking about them, or do you have them in a professional lab? Then the other part of that, and we've been talking about, if you go to Upworks or some freelance stuff, if you're doing a smaller level stuff, you can actually do work on smaller level projects, make a little money, but then you get that experience, right? So there's levels to this of how you want to do it, right? And we've been talking about it, and we've been talking about as community, setting up real incubators where we can do real world projects. Gabe knows what's real world projects. I know what a real world project is. Keep it check. He's been on real government sites, so we can do real world projects that can get you real world experience. So that's one thing's on my agenda, right? Do those big projects. So Renzo, that's the things I would do to try to get that real world experience.
And then real quick, I made a lot of you guys moderators. Thank you for contributing to the content and asking questions. And because you're moderators, you can add your links and anything that you might want to promote tech-wise in the chat. So yeah, Renzo, you can now post your blog. Feel free to throw it up there. And I think that you said that you deploy and defend. Here, let me go back to the right thing. You said, and I'm gonna get to everybody else's comments too. It says I deploy and defend live virtual machines. That's dope, right? Please put it in there. And I think that something certain people have spoken about this, and I think that one thing that's really important is that having a network of people, like a network of tech professionals that you connect with, whether on YouTube, whether on LinkedIn, that is able to promote you so that more eyes can get on you. The more eyes from hiring managers and individuals who are reputable in the field that they can get on you, the higher chance it is for you to get scooped up by somebody. So I think that that's a very good way to do it, though. Absolutely. So anything y'all got on that one?
You want to go keep it tech before I get back on my Get back on my soapbox.
I just want to
Keep going
say,
through the
hey,
chat.
Renzo,
Yeah.
look at Mastermind's comment. That's exactly
Okay.
what I was gonna add.
Let me highlight it.
Certs are a good way when you don't have the experience. So not saying go out there and just get a whole bunch of certs, go crazy with it, but certs will help. I'm not sure what you have, but yeah.
Was Mastermind on there was he talking about DevOps on your channel one time? Was that the Mastermind guy that was on your channel? Keep it techie talking about DevOps?
Yeah, I believe so. No, he was
absolutely.
Who was that? I'm trying to think who
Mastermind is you DevOps?
But I know him.
Does he do DevOps? I think so. I need to go check him out.
But Mastermind has a YouTube channel himself. I'm about to throw it.
Okay.
Here in the chat.
I need to go check him out. Maybe I'm confusing with my fault. But back to him is when he says protecting live VMs, but shout out, put Gabe on the spot. Now you need to go to MITRE, right? You talking about MITRE attacks, TPTs, and what that really looks like from a professional and a federal level, right? That's when you step your game up. When you start talking about MITRE attacks and TPTs, and that's the next level of what that looks like for defending them. So when you say defending, are you just putting up a firewall? You got some guard duty where you looking up threats? Or you looking up MITRE with those different level attacks? Chime in on that MITRE attack. That's more your. Is that you, Gabe? I keep giving that to you. I keep making you the MITRE expert.
I rock with MITRE here and there.
Yeah.
No, you did that. I remember in LinkedIn. I don't really rock with I wouldn't say I don't rock with MITRE, but I think it is a very good tool. I don't use it very often, but I do think it's helpful. So there's some questions in here that I gotta get to. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You said it's triple threat up there. Aiken said, "What is the panel's thoughts on Coursera certificates for tech beginners and specialists? Do you guys use Coursera? I haven't used it before.
I'm more Udemy than Coursera, but they're the same. Anything you can get to give you more skills and give your tech. Keep it tech. You said I wouldn't go crazy with it. I think you could figure out what you need to. Once again, keep stacking or your skills is good. I wouldn't go crazy. So Udemy or Coursera, anything that's going to give you more skills and you're comfortable with in your learning style, right? So that's what I was saying.
I would say even just reverse engineer your Coursera courses or your Udemy courses. Start from the job posting, right? Look at the job posting, look at the skills that are necessary, then just take some of those high-level understandings or high-level skills and throw it right there into the Coursera or the Udemy search engine, and then take that course and then have that aligned with the skills that you see in job postings. I think that's a very good way to utilize some of those not so expensive learning resources. Savage Scientist says, I would have to say CCNA is greater than Network Plus. Yeah, I think that Network Plus is first, right? And then CCNA is for more advanced. And even the version of CCA right now, it has cloud in it also. So it says CCNA is less than network answer. Maybe
monetarily.
I don't know.
Monetarily. Facts.
Yeah, he said CCNA is or CISSP is 125 questions.
Man, when I took it, it was like SAT. I went in with a bubble sheet. It wasn't even electronic when I took it, man.
No, it is not. So AO says they're working on an A+ Security Plus CCNA and AZ 104. Salute to you. You're going to Azure route. I'm trying to get to some of the questions. I probably would take it. I learned from Network Plus. OSCP is not my goal, but listen, that could be your dream. That 24-hour hacking exam.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine. I'm gonna interview him. I think it's 2 of them. He did both of them. So
I'm seeing textual chatter saying he uses Tableau, Conda. He says it's all right. It's all right. It's cold. It's cool with him. He says once I get my coding sequence out, the way I would deep dive into OS. Listen. Cool. I like that for you. But that OSCP is a monster. That OSCP. Let me tell you this OSCP. It comes with a training booklet where you're pretty much learning all these offensive security techniques, and then they also come with a lab. So it's a lab environment, which is pretty much you hacking into all these different machines. Now, these machines can range from Active Directory environments to Linux machines, and you're just using a lot of different techniques. So after you studied the material, went through the course trainings, the videos, and then you go through the lab environment, then you take a 24-hour exam where you're hacking into all these different boxes. You have to get a certain number of boxes hacked, and then that results in you having to write a report on everything that you did.
Facts.
Yeah,
facts.
no thank you for me, but listen, I like that for you. I like
I
that
want
for
none
you.
of that. I don't want none of that smoke.
Nah.
Shout out to you, man. I don't
A
want
plus
none of
and
that
net
smoke.
plus.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Textual Chatter says he's been through Cloud Academy, labs, and security.
Okay.
What languages are important for cloud? A whole bunch of them. You want to answer that quickly?
Yeah, Rust, PHP is good. Old school if you're gonna do some Bash Shell if you're doing it in Linux. So those are probably the big ones. Cloud formations or Ansible. Shout out to Keep It Tech. He the Ansible guy. Everybody's in the automation, so you need to get Cloud Formation, Ansible, one of those things in the cloud.
YAML.
YAML, which is what I've been studying on Cloud Formation. So
Yeah, Renzo, and thank you for sharing your link. Your blog looks dope. Here, I'm actually go to it right now. We could take a look at it. Hopefully, you're not embarrassing nothing, but we want to take a look at your blog. I think you got some good material up there, man. Let's see what we got going on here. It says my journey, and this is like you guys. We have another veteran. Salute to the veterans. Keep It Techie is a veteran. Professor Blackout is a veteran.
I'm not a veteran. I work with veterans. I'm not a veteran.
Work with veterans. Okay, sorry about that.
I've been in the hood. I don't like getting shot at, man. I'm old and fat. I can't run no more, man. I don't like getting shot at no more now. I work with veterans.
Well, salute to Donnell, who is a veteran. He's dedicated, and he has some really good information here. So he says he's hacking, capture the flags. Okay, I like how this is.
Real quick, Nmap. Yeah, I'm gonna jump in with Keep It Techie. Is if you look at the federal jobs, they take veterans first. Your points as a veteran jump in on that. Keep It Techie. That's more your.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, man. As soon as I saw that, he needs to start applying using that veteran status, and as well as it's a couple of sites I can send you, man. Just send me an email, keepittechie@gmail.com, and I'll send you a list of sites where you can apply to government. I mean, it's what is it, governmentjobs.com or something?
Yeah,
.gov or something. Yeah.
But you get extra points because I worked at DOD for 10 years and I've seen 60% of the people I work with ex-military, right? So they get first dibs with the points. And
also, Renzo, I'm sure most people that come into the military get a security clearance. You need to be applying to it's clearancejobs.gov, I believe. You need to be applying on there every day for our cybersecurity positions. They pop up every single day, dude.
I don't know what city you're in, but if you're in any kind of major city, there's bases all around. There's a base that I worked here in Indiana, so there's just a ton of those out there.
Renzo, this website is super dope, man. I love your website. You go over a lot of very good examples of things that you've done, and this is something that's very helpful because I interview people all the time, and I would say hit me up too. Let's see, at the strugglesec at gmail.com, and I could probably reference you to a couple of different job roles within my organization because this isn't normal. We don't get people who we're able to know exactly what their skills are and like capture the flags and everything. These are very good. Like SMB is used all the time for different hacking techniques. I see the stuff that you've done here. Listen. Hey, reach out to myself. Reach out to Keep It Techie, man. We got you, man. Yeah, we definitely got you. But everybody, go ahead and go to Renzo's chat or Renzo's. Oh man, he has an active secret clearance. Come on.
What level?
You got this in the bag, man. This is about to be butter for you.
Yeah. What level is he? If you got that, that's 75% of the battle, man.
Yeah.
It's the clearance.
Yes. And that's another reason why I have the channel is to really help to get people into the cybersecurity field and to, if I can do anything in order to assist, and also the panelists, if they could do anything in order to assist you get in. Listen, we all for it. I love your blog. It's super dope. Yeah, man. We'll talk more. We'll definitely talk more. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot of companies out here that's hiring for government positions that looking for people with clearances. So, I'm sorry, Gabe. Go ahead.
No. That's it. It's definitely it. Yeah, Master Man said he's in DevOps. All right, everybody. I'm sorry I can't get to more of the questions. Listen, it's cooking. It is definitely cooking. And CavTech is there to assist also. You guys have any closing thoughts? I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
Listen, I'm getting old. Listen, it's my bedtime. Somebody's getting my bedtime.
Tell a mastermind to drop
it?
his link in there because I think on Keep It Tech, I think he had a Twitter class or something he was doing.
Yeah, yeah, he did. He had something going on. I know he be doing a lot. He got a channel. Yeah. No, Mastermind.
Mastermind. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing DevOps, so he actually been on my mind a little bit. I'm thinking about transferring back into DevSecOps, so I was gonna go check him out and see. But my closing thoughts is shout out to Gabe. This was great. Everybody started off on meager means. I know everybody want to be high value. Everybody wants to make $100,000 coming out of high school. That shit ain't real, man. It took me 10 years to get to 100. Now I think you can do it faster because I started off in 1998, right? So you can move a little quicker there, but you got to put in the work. You got to put in the time. Gabe's telling you he's grinding. Keep it tech. You go check out his free course. Kev Tech's in there. You just got to grind, stack your skills, and you can get it. Come up with a viable path you want. And our path's not going to work. Just keep going forward, man. The struggle's real. To me, it's not struggle. It's part of the process, man. There's stuff I didn't pass, or certs I flunked, and it's just part of the game, man. So I'm old. I've been in the game for 30 plus years. I need another 10. Channels like Keep It Techie, Gabe, everybody's in the chat. Struggle, Savage Scientist, Textual Chatter. Everybody's in the chat. There's a ton of people out there now. You don't have to say you're alone in IT. When I was in, there was no Google. When I was in there, you were alone. Now it's a ton of people out here to help you. Everybody on this panel will help you. You can reach out to any of us. We give you our 2 cents, and that's all I got.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
you got anything?
I don't really have much more than because PBO just hit everything. You know what I'm saying?
My bad.
Nah, you good. Nah, it don't matter, man. As long as the information gets out there, you know what I'm saying. So, I mean, if shout out to you, Gabe, for doing this. You know what I'm saying? It's great conversation.
Absolutely, man.
Great topic and everything. I think we really need to show our work, so to speak, and show things that we've done, because it can inspire people that are coming behind us, just seeing what we went through, and they'll have some form of preparation on what they would probably go through, even though things are changing, but what they may go through as well getting into this industry and field. So shout out to you, Gabe, again. PBO, shout out to you as well, man. I appreciate you guys. Yo.
Absolutely, y'all. Yeah, thanks for coming through. I'm just going to do the closing. All right, y'all. Peace out, y'all. Okay. Thank you for coming through, everybody. Here, let me kill this banner. Thank you for coming through, everybody, where this channel is called Struggle Security, where my tagline is that we are normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. Sometimes your early career, you might not be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's a struggle behind it. And, hopefully this has dispelled one of these struggles of yours. And I thank you, everybody, for coming through and supporting. Keep asking questions. I'll keep trying to answer them. If you all are looking for jobs, if you're looking for anything, feel free to reach out to me at strugglesec@gmail.com. I answer emails or anything, or hit something in the comment section if you're watching this on the replay. Thank you for coming through, and I'll see you all later. Peace out.